Okay, so before we get into this video, we have a shout out to Zeke X OBJ. He managed to find me in the wilderness and wanted a shout out. So also, if any of you guys ask me for a shout out and the next few videos nothing happens, that means that I'm uploading videos that I've already recorded. Now, this he asked for a shout out a while ago, and I had already had a bunch of videos saved up that I just had to upload. Just click publish, and they would be uploaded. So, Zeke, that is why it took so long. Sorry about that. You saw me again, and you found me again in the wilderness, and said you were unsubbing and disliking on my videos because you didn't get a shout out. This is why it took so long. Basically, I'm just uploading videos that I already have rendered and uploaded to YouTube. I just need to publish them. So, yeah, shout out to Zeke X OBJ. Thanks for waiting so long for the shout out. And let's get into the video. Okay, so we got kind of a dual purpose video here. First one is kind of embarrassing a shit talker, and the second is teaching you guys how to deal with someone who runs. So the shit talker, Dilzy, you'll see here. He's not the friendliest of people for some reason, but basically he's in your videos are shit. You're shit just like your videos. Everyone's entitled to their own opinions, whether or not I agree with them. But yeah, so I'm shit. I mean that must be why my name is Shiz Tayltin, because I'm a shit Tayltin. So let's kind of go into well, this first portion is just him shit talking before we actually got into a fight with him. But let's talk about this for a little bit. Dilzy is more of what I like to call an RNG rusher and a runner. So, an RNG rusher. What does that mean, Shiz? Well, it basically means what he does is he will run away from you until he has his combo ready, and then he'll run back towards you and try to one-tick you. Now, you see this most commonly with Abyss campers, the people who camp at the Zamorak Mage there. They rush up to their combo and try to kill you as fast as possible. Now, some Abyss campers are pretty decent PKers, but some of them aren't too good of PKers. Basically, what they rely on is gear and rushing to that first combo, and then once that combo is over, they either teleport or run away. Dilzy, in the first few fights, he's kind of like a half PKer, half RNG rusher. So the first few fights, he fought me normally like anyone else would. He was bitching and complaining that I was running, where when you guys watch the videos, you'll see every time I run, typically it's either A, I'm moving him for a fragmentation shot, or B, he already started praying and running my snipes, so I thought, hey, why am I always the good guy? Maybe I'll be a bitch for a little bit. So, yeah, that you saw there in the first fight, he runs away. He doesn't bank, and you can kind of see him, LOL, question mark. He was running away. I waited for him for a bit, decided, fuck this, I'm going to go bank, because I just assumed he went to bank. So, yeah, came back and began to our second fight here. So, the thing about Dilzy is, luckily, well, there's a few things about Dilzy. So, the first one is, luckily, he is shit at stalling adrenaline. He missed his stalls at least 3 or 4 times throughout our fights, which ended up him not able to do his RNG rush. It ended up him starting back at 0 adrenaline. The second thing is he's pretty darn easy to anticipate. I don't mean the ability to anticipate, I mean his combos. Basically, every time he went in for a combo, he would vulnerability first, and then Dragon Breath, and then go into Wild Magic and Asphyxiate. Or different, maybe he would Dragon Breath first, then Vulnerability. But odds are he would Vulnerability first. So whenever that Vulnerability came, I would be like, okay, let's anticipate here. Let's debilitate there. Don't have anticipate or debilitate. Let's freed him. Or let's just stun him. So that was pretty lucky that I didn't get a super good RNG rusher, as they are kind of difficult to fight. But a few tips you guys can learn, and hopefully you guys can see me using these tips and tricks. You saw there I anticipated him using Natural Instincts, so I used Locate, which is the Decimation special attack, drop my Adrenaline, He didn't get a full adrenaline steal, so he just teleported out. So here's the fight where he really starts going into the RNG rusher mode, because we fought 2 times already. He didn't come close. I came close to killing him a few times, so this is where he goes into his RNG rusher phase. So puts his prey up and he starts darting in and out. Now, you saw there, I saw he was going to come in for his combo. He was at decent adrenaline, so he could perform his combo. So I waited for him to come into that combo, and then I started to snipe him. Now, this is something that is extremely helpful if you're fighting someone who is running and praying and you're using range. The best thing you can do is just wait for them to perform their combo. Anticipate before it, and then go into a snipe. They're not going to break off their... Typically, they won't break off their combos. There are some pretty damn decent PKers that are like, okay, he anticipated, I'm just going to break off the combo, wait until later. But 9 times out of 10, they're not going to break off their combo, and you're going to actually successfully get that snipe in. So that's what you guys need to wait for. Just be patient. You see me in these videos, when he runs away, typically I don't chase him. I wait for him. I don't mind if he's waiting until he gets his combo back. It doesn't matter. I'm going to wait for him to perform that combo, because I'm perfectly fine with him using that combo. I'll just anticipate, I'll debilitate, whatever. What I'm worried about is knocking off his prayer. So you can kind of see here, laughing my ass off, all you do is run and stall. I kind of call him out a bit. I'm like, dude, you're RNG rushing and you're praying. Don't bitch at me. So, I asked him if he still wants me to post the fights you saw there, post these videos, your shit, etc. He was asking me to post them, so I asked him and he's like, post them, I don't care. LOL. I'm like, what are you proving? What are you proving by posting these videos? And I'm basically like, I don't know, you kind of seem like you're upset, so maybe you don't want me to post them. And he's like, whatever, don't cry, anything to make a good video. I don't know where he gets the impression that I'm crying from. To me personally, from this text here, from what he's saying, he kind of seems like the one who's upset. But these are the people that do the mental gymnastics and convince themselves that they don't do anything wrong. So, yeah, somehow he convinces himself that I'm the one who's upset. But yeah, I'm basically like, maybe you should try Tectonic, etc. Maybe you should up gear because you're not doing too good. So this is where he goes full on RNG rusher. Doesn't even try to really fight me too much. He basically, you'll see here, he gets up to the appropriate adrenaline, and then this is where he starts running. So this is where you guys will find, this is how you fight someone who runs. I'm not chasing them. You saw there he lost his stall. Basically what I should have done is I shouldn't have siphoned him. I should have let him attack me so he lost all of his adrenaline, but it wasn't a big deal. So he lost his adrenaline, you saw there. I saw he was coming in for his combo, so I natural instinct. And now he's kind of at my mercy because he's got to build up his adrenaline again. So just kind of when you're fighting someone who kind of does this running in and out, just be patient. Don't chase after them. Let them come back to you. Because if you just wait for them, you've got time to kind of think about, okay, when they run back at me, what am I going to do? Okay, I'm going to anticipate because odds are they're going to run right into their combo. After I anticipate, I'm going to snipe them. You've got time. If you wait, you're not the one chasing after them. You've got a little bit of time to kind of think about what you're going to do and how you're going to manipulate this other person. If you're chasing them, they're controlling you at that point. They're the ones setting up the combos. You're the one who's just going to be taking it up the ass. Which no one ever likes taking it up the ass. I don't know. Hopefully not too many of you guys like taking it up the ass. But yeah, just play it safe. Find a little square dirt there. And just plant your feet, man. Let them wait for them to come back to you. You can be like, this is my square dirt here. There are many squares of dirt like it, but this one is mine, and I'm going to stay here. But yeah,
all in all, these fights weren't too hard. We'll get into the tips here in a little bit, but really there's only 2 tips you guys need to remember if you're fighting someone who's running, and I've already said them both multiple times. But all in all, Dilsey, not the best PKer I've fought before. I was a little bit, he was bluffing me a little bit when he was shit talking so much. Honestly, I should realize by now if they're shit talking, odds are they're not the best PKer. With the amount of experience I've had with shit talkers. But I'll be the first one to admit he had me a little bit concerned with the amount of shit talking he was doing. I was like, I don't know, is this one of those closet nerds who only does war bands and max gear? I don't know. So let's get into the tips here. Tip number 1: tips for finding someone who's running. Tip number 1: don't chase. Okay. I see a lot, and every time I'm running a bit and I see someone chasing me, I get excited because this person doesn't know how to fight someone who's running. So you see here, he runs out. He's running the god know where, Narnia for all I know. I found my little square of dirt. This square of dirt's mine. Many like it. This one's mine. And I'm just going to stay there. I wait for him to come back, and then I immediately work on taking down his adrenaline as much as possible. So, tip number 2, anticipate. Typically, RNG rushers, like Dilsey, they kind of tend to use a set combo in a set order, and they just keep reusing that, hoping. They're not PKers, they're not manipulating you. They're just hoping, they're praying to God that they get that one tick. So you see here, he anticipates and then goes into his combo. You saw there, vulnerability. He anticipates vulnerabilities, then Dragon Breath into his Wild Magic or Asphyxiate. This was his one combo for the entire fight. He didn't use Detonate. He didn't. You see a lot of mages use Detonate into Dragon Breath because they can stack that into a 1-tick. This wasn't Dilsey. Basically, he'd run away. Then he would either anticipate before he got back to me, or he'd wait. So you see here, he runs in, he uses Natural Instinct, then he goes into his combo after he uses Dragon Breath. Once you guys start learning the abilities and you guys get a little bit more experience, this is one of the things. I know it's easy when you're first starting PKing and you kind of get caught up in the fight. You're kind of not really paying attention to exactly what abilities your opponent's using. You're just looking at your HP bar and trying to eat, trying to stay alive. This is something that not, like you think, oh, okay, well, this actually sounds pretty easy to do. But this is something that not a huge amount of PKers are able to do, which is basically pay attention to what combos your opponent's using and learning to anticipate them. And if you guys do manage to do this, learn how to do this, then you're going to be miles ahead of a lot of the other PKers out there. But yeah, this video is more of what I'm trying to do is give you guys different types of fights. So you guys have probably heard me telling you guys about the interactive EOC guide I'm making. I'm also going to make a multi-PKing guide, how to tank teams, etc. There's hundreds of different scenarios I can do. And honestly, each one of them is something that you guys, if you guys want to be successful PKers, you're going to have to learn how to do. So, for example, this one's a running fight. There's another one, there's a max gear fight where odds are you're going to have to be the one who's running. If you're fighting someone in max tier, you're not just going to be able to sit there and eat up all their combos, because it's not going to work that way. Every different fight has kind of a different feel to it, and there's different things, tips, tricks. It's just, you got to react to the fight at hand. It's kind of like you got to think on your toes. As during the fight, you're like, okay, this guy's hitting me way too much. I'm going to need to start running and kind of balance out that, because I've ate a lot more than he has, so I'm going to need to make him eat more than I am. And you're just not hitting on him, so you got to kind of supplement that with running. So, and hopefully I can kind of give you guys experience through my own experiences. And next time you guys are out in the wilderness and you see Dilsey, you're like, okay, this guy's an RNG rusher. Thanks to Shiz, I know how to deal with this bastard. So, now that I'm kind of finished droning on here, every time I make a video, I'm like, okay, as soon as that clip cuts out, I'm done. But that's not the case. So, once again, sorry for droning on past the clips. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Hope you guys learned something. And as always, I hope you guys are having a spectacular day. I'll see you guys in the next video.